Hi, this is TV comedy impressionist Christopher G from the other side of the pond saying hi, and I love the Queen Silvy show.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11. Good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim. Get smooth with Tim. They have you rolling like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show, got the #1 spot. Look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 It's the Queen Silvy Show.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you for joining us on another terrific Tuesday on the multiple award-winning Queen Silvy Show. Please allow me to introduce this beautiful woman to my left, the multiple award-winning, the sexiest granny in the world, the one and only Queen Silvy.
Yes, it is me. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. You damn right. I'm Queen Silvy, feeling so great today. Ready to get some laughter in, learn some tricks to the trades. I have a magnificent, talented queen on the show today. Smooth, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing terrific on this Tuesday, Queen. And might I ask, how are you doing?
As always, I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, you're just simply...
I know. Amazing.
Yes, you are.
True that. I am amazing. It is what it is. But you are amazing. Smooth, you are amazing. As well as our amazing guests and announcements for today, right?
Yep, I believe you prefaced that with Helaine Witt is going to be on our show today. And she is a comedian out of New York. I get that correct? Out of New York City. So we got New York in the house today.
Hey.
Also, our hearts and prayers are going out to the world. Everything that's going on, still things going on in Ukraine, still things going on here. Hey, love goes a lot further than hate, people. So
all right.
Hey, get it together. Also, if you would please look at the top of the screen, you're going to see scrolling various ways to get hold of Queen Silvy and myself. More importantly, go to www.thequeensilvyshow.com. Go to the contact tab, scroll on down, and drop in your email so we can get corresponding back and forth, and you can keep up with what the hell we're doing.
Right on.
Sometimes. Also, because you are worth it, that's Foxy 5 Jewelry. Sassy, elegant, and affordable fashionable jewelry and accessories for you and or that someone special. Go ahead and get a hold of Monica Wright on Facebook or visit her at her website, www.foxy5jewelry.com. Another way to keep up with this queen would be to go to our YouTube channel. And we have the content of all 3 of our shows, as well as some other projects that the Queen and I are working on. So go ahead, and when you go into YouTube, just simply in the search engine, type in The Queen Silvy Show. You'll get all those results. And while you're there, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely.
Oh, analytics from last week's show. How about Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Dominican Republic, Ireland, Jamaica, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the good old US of A. Thank you all for tuning on in. We sincerely appreciate that.
Absolutely, we do. In fact, if you are watching this live, I want you to know Smooth and myself, we love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on an archive, hey, what?
Oh, our love is everlasting.
Our love is everlasting. We love and appreciate you on this terrific Tuesday, the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. You have time to be kind and spread the word of someone else to come on in. Get some of this super greatness that we have in store for you. Phone lines are open if you wish to call in and ask our guest a question. Give a shout out or holler at Smooth and myself. You know me, I'm going to holler back at your ass. So well, take a chance. Give me a call. 817-602-0577. That is the number to the Queen Silvy Show. So before we begin my great conversation with my beautiful queen guest, what I'd like to do at this moment is I'd like to share some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. You're not even fully dressed until you wear a smile. I mean, a good smile is like a magic pill that can make you feel good in every circumstances in life. You know, the strongest people tend to smile, even during their toughest times. In fact, all the statistics in the world can't measure the warmth of a smile. And there's always a reason to smile. You just have to find it. So use your smile to change the world. But don't let the world change your smile. That's right. Hey, and those are some motivational words, baby, from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Again, you do have time to be kind. Spread the word around. We're going to get it on with my first guest because she is a dynamic comedy queen. That's right. From teaching in the New York City school system to bringing laughter worldwide. With over 30 years in the industry, she's even had the great late Joan Rivers buy some of her jokes and tell it on the late night show with Johnny Carson. But you know, it didn't stop there because she's been soaring on television and stages while writing greeting cards, jokes, one-liners. Oh, she is hot. And live from New York, I introduce to you actress, writer, stand-up comedian Helaine Witt.
Thank you. Thank
Hey.
you so much. Wow.
How are you
That's
today?
an ego booster this morning. Thank you so much, both of you. Wow.
Well, we are honored
And I
that...
loved your inspirational vibe here so far.
Well, thank you. It continues. We don't stop.
Well, that's what we do, though.
I bet you don't.
Unless I didn't sleep good last night and then it... What did you say? Say something? No. But we are honored and glad that you are here today. I find you to be quite a very interesting, humorous
Individual.
queen in the comedy industry because we all know that even back in the day and even now, men, I'm not going to say men, they predominantly take over the comedy. We women have to fight and strive and get our way through. So for someone who has been in as long as you have been in, I know you're strong and tough and demanding. Well, you have to be because you were into the school system as well. So first and foremost, I want to give it up to you. Where's my audience? For being an elementary school teacher in the New York school system. Is it Queens, New York?
Queens, Jamaica, Queens, South Jamaica, Queens, New York.
South Jamaica, Queens.
That sounds like fun.
Right? What was teaching like decades ago for you?
Well, one thing about teaching, I'm a loving, sweet person, but when you're teaching, they want you to not smile till November, and that doesn't teach the kids to be loving people. It puts them in a system almost like a prison system, you know? So I was against the whole mode of or vibe of in my particular school. Not that you couldn't be both. That was what you strove to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're
that
strong.
That was a challenge have to be strict and firm and motivate them and be loving at the same time.
I know it is. A lot of weight becomes on the shoulders of teachers because sometimes, in the dysfunctional families, the parents depend on you to do all the work. They depend on you and rely on you to do all that. And, I used to want to be a teacher back when I was in high school. But hell to the no. I don't want to be no teacher now. Are you kidding? It's hard out here for the students as well as the teachers with all the violence and everything going on. So you got through all of that in great timing.
Thank you. You're right. I lived through. I had a student in second grade when he was always troubled. I always cared about him. Every day I walked him down to his family to talk about him every single day at the end of the day. And don't you know, one day in fourth grade, he brought a gun to school, and it was owned by the brother that I used to talk to every day at the door.
Geez, that sounds like that second grader in Vermont, right?
Did you hear about that? Was he 6 years old?
6-year-old, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I just when I see it, I don't even want to read the rest of it.
It's just horrific
story
anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for you,
but you're right. When I saw that, I didn't even want to hear the details. I saw the headline. Yeah,
I understand. But now for you, Helaine, it was the late 70s or the early 80s when comedy began for you. I know that, when schooling was over, you zipped over to San Francisco where you did your comedy at the Holy City Zoo in San Francisco.
Yes.
What was your reason for taking on the challenge and getting on that stage for the first time?
Thanks for asking. I was walking down the street when I moved there. Do you remember that song, If You're Going to San Francisco, wear a flower in your hair? So my friends were all moving to California. So when I had a break in teaching and they had cutbacks, I said, now I'm just going to go now. So I'm walking down the street, and this barker, and I'll explain what I mean by barker, he had on a polyester suit and his hair was greased back, and he was standing outside the comedy club going, comedy, 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 come in the comedy club. And he was famous for that kind of voice. And I was not into doing comedy. It was the furthest thing from my mind that night. And he said, just come in. So I went on the stage. He said, just look around. Little did I know Robin Williams started there, and Dana Carvey started there, Kevin Nealon, Rob Schneider. Who knew? I was just walking down the street. And the rest, then he sold me some classes, comedy, improv, and selling jokes to other people. He sold me 3 classes. And in turn, I lend him my vacuum cleaner down the street. Yes, he took my vacuum cleaner down Clement Street for when he had to vacuum. He lived upstairs, so he borrowed the vacuum. And in return, and I typed his manual from him. In return, he gave me the 3 classes.
Well, you know what? Things happen for a reason. Those 3 classes help zoom you to where you are today, and you are very brilliant and good at what you do. And barter, by the way, is the guys that stand out and they try to get you to come in. Listen, I had that happen to me, but it was a strip club. And I'm like,
God.
Well, you
and
know
you
what?
Went in?
I went in and did comedy at a strip club for the first time.
Wow.
Oh, believe you me,
Come on,
I
that
did.
was a blast.
I wasn't going in there to shake my little pancake booty. Are you kidding? No, it was comedy.
And
But
tell her that was so much fun. It was
really
incredible.
was. It really was. In Texas is where we were, and that happened in Texas. But hey, challenge me. I'll take your ass on. That's how I am. But hey, the world knows you as someone who writes brilliant jokes, one-liners. You make people laugh. I have not met you personally, but you describe yourself to me. What type of person and comedian are you?
Well, back in those days, Joan Rivers came out with an album, and I started listening to her, and I was what I call channeling her. Like, I listened to it so much that I'd walk down the street, and if you said, what do you like? I'd be like, what would Joan Rivers say right now? And I started to think like her. And to this day, I hear a news story, and right away I think of a quick joke about it. Like, every day I listen to the news, right away I think of something funny. So I guess you could call me sarcastic.
Now I know you've been told your voice is around the same octave as Joan, right?
I know you know that, right? right?
I know that you two have good diction. I noticed it right away, and I was going to make a joke about it. I can tell right away you two are not from New York.
Oh, no.
We
We're
are not from New
Midwesterners.
York. Yeah, been there, but
You have
no,
nice
we're not from New
diction.
York. You're good because you live there. When we come out the next day. We're like flying out of New York, but
In and out of New York.
yeah. But for you, because you've been in the industry for over 30 years, like any newcomer that comes to open mics and get their practice in and then get their stage, they have to develop their own style. How did you develop your own style for stand-up and one-liners, including your writing skills?
Thank you for asking. I took a lot of the teaching experiences and exaggerated them. So a lot of my first set that I wrote for comedy, even though I've been in it 30 years, I appreciate you saying that. I stopped for a while because teaching was very demanding. I'd stay in the classroom till nighttime, and they didn't let you stay, but I snuck. Another teacher and I would stay in the classroom and do work. So I put comedy on hold for quite a while. But to answer your question, a lot of my jokes are about how tough were these kids, Like the kid who brought a gun to school, he said, teacher, I have the word of the day and show and tell. I said, look at you. You're so happy today. He said, yeah, it's Glock, Glock. Well, he didn't shoot me and he spelled it right. So I gave him a scholarship to Harvard, and he majored in neuroscience and minored in basketball.
Well, aren't you
so
mighty
I take
special?
A lot of my jokes are from teaching and just observations.
Now that's funny.
So do you have a limit when it comes to your comedy? Like, something you absolutely will not talk about?
Yes, that's a good question. I don't like graphic comedy about like personal body parts.
Right.
What I call filthy comedy. Here's what I say when I go to an open mic. I say to myself, you went to these young, let's say young men and women. I said, you went to school for 12 years at least. Every hour you learn something new, be it geography, geometry, whatever you learn for every hour of your life for 12 years, must you talk about your privates?
Right.
Aren't there other subjects on the planet to talk about? And that gets me. Being a school teacher, as raunchy as Joan Rivers and that side of me could be, I'm also a little square when it comes to comedy. And I can perform in Harlem one night and go to a senior center on Long Island the next night.
Well, see, that shows your professionalism. Yes, Smooth.
Thank you.
I was going to say, if you go to any type of a structured education that's going to teach you about comedy and comedy writing and presentation, they're going to tell you everything that you put down should be clean.
Absolutely.
And dirty it up for the crowd.
Well, it's easy to do that, but clean is what you do, and that's great because clean will get your ticket on television.
That's where you get where you want to go.
Clean will get your ticket on anything. I mean, I've done comedy in strip clubs. I've done comedy in church. And it's simple. You can add those words in there on there if you need to, if you're in that type of environment. But you have it down packed because I've seen different type of audience. Like you perform for seniors, which I think is outstanding. They need the laughter themselves, you guys. We're going to talk about that Peacock show in just a moment. But, besides doing that type of comedy, you do the open mics where you run into the young bucks, the ones who think they have it and they know it going on and things like that. But how has your writing and your performing improved your personal life?
Well, that's a good question. I lived in California. When I moved back, I went to this like singles dance. It was more like a Woody Allen movie. It had people who were like 80, 90, 70, 60. And I'm at the singles dance and I don't know. Nobody asked me to dance and I was feeling, I don't belong in this environment. And the next day I went to a church basement comedy open mic and I said, you know what? This is more your social life. You feel better about yourself in this environment than going to the singles dance, looking for a nice guy, which if he asked me to dance, I'd have no problem with it, but he didn't. So that changed my personal life. And, we made friends during the pandemic. We go to this jokezoom.com. You get 6 minutes to work on like 1 or 2 jokes every day, 6 days a week for 3 years. And we're all so close now.
That's all right.
So
No,
I
that
got to
reminded me.
social life, and it's all over. I go to New Jersey, Long Island. So it changed my social life a lot.
That's cool.
I was going to say, that reminded me of the versatility, because you've done comedy in a church too.
Yes.
So from strip clubs to churches, you need to have some real versatility if you want to be a comedian.
Listen, in Texas, I've seen them do comedy in a convenience store right between the bread and the beer. I mean, they'll
so
do it in
funny.
a pizza place. No, seriously, wherever they can get in and fit in and work on their
Between the
craft,
bread and the beer. That's cute.
they do it. They really do.
Well,
Comedian.
you know, the Catholic priest, I'm just interrupting again. The Catholic priest he was young and funny. He's even funny on Facebook. He was holding a wine glass going to Chaim, and he's a Catholic, and he's talking Yiddish, and he's a Catholic priest. But he had the open mic, and he told jokes about getting picked up. He was on vacation. He wasn't wearing his collar, and this woman said, "Hey, you want to come to my place? My son's out of town." He said, "No, I can't." She goes, "Oh, why? You married?" He said, "No, I'm a priest."
Now,
So he himself was funny, but of course you want to be, like you said, appropriate at a church.
Right.
and speaking Yiddish in a Catholic church, that is funny.
Yes. I have someone
Yeah.
messaging in. I don't know if you know her, comedian Dessa, Dessa. She's asking, is it hard getting stage time in New York?
Well, there are so many open mics. You might pay $5, or you could have a bringer where you have to bring people. But I'd say no. If you could make some friends or bark outside and ask people to come in, it doesn't have to be hard. I have lots of friends. I dig them up from organizations I'm in, or school, or make friends on the street. You know, make friends at the supermarket where you wouldn't ordinarily.
Right.
Just have people to come to see you.
That's important.
And they
too.
have some
So
very
the
nice
answer is
clubs.
no,
yeah.
there is there are so many places you can perform. You just have to be what's the word? Like intentional.
You gotta want it. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can't
you
just
gotta
sit
want
and
it.
think it's gonna come to you. You gotta get out there, get yourself out there, and do it. Especially if you're
Make
female.
friends with people. You know what I did? I approached people. I see flyers on the Facebook. Let's say some lady Jane is in a show. Well, right away I look and see who put on that show. Then I contact that person and say, "Can I send you a video?"
Absolutely.
So that's the answer, Dessa. I just
Absolutely.
hustle, talk to people, make friends with people, be nice to people.
You have to be your own agent, producer, promoter. You know, you have to get out there and do all that. My word is grind. You have to get out there and grind if you want it and want to stay in the game in there. And like for you, you do currently mostly your stand up in New York and the surrounding areas regularly. But how do you, Helaine, stay motivated and continuously going and going and going?
As committed I was as a teacher, I'm so into this comedy thing. I didn't know that would happen when I retired. I don't know what I was going to do with my time. I didn't have a problem with it. I could do volunteer work, but it just got me so, I'm into it all the time. I talk it, I breathe it, I live it. I'm so into it.
That's all right.
You know, we've been in New York a couple of times at Broadway Comedy Club.
Yes, I'm going there tomorrow.
And a friend of ours puts on shows there occasionally, Aaron Wesley. You know Aaron?
I don't know, Aaron.
So, yeah, he's out of Salt Lake City.
Originally.
Oh,
yeah.
but he goes.
He travels around, and yeah.
Wow, I
So
don't
you might
know.
want to look him up on Facebook.
Yes.
Well, I want to shout out a friend who I know that is a good friend of yours. She was on our show twice back in 2020, and that's Linda Marcus Smith, who has her own show.
My best pal. Yeah.
Yes. We enjoyed our conversation. Have her on. She was on a couple times a couple years ago. But, you know, I think that it's fantastic that you and along with other great comedians occasionally perform for seniors at venues. You know, everybody can benefit from laughter.
And Linda performs with the military and committed
Yes.
to making military laugh. So because of that, I like to support her shows, whatever she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If I could support her, even if it, if you know what I'm saying.
Is she still in Vegas right now?
Yeah, she's in Vegas, and I support the way she supports the military to laugh. That's so enrolling to me.
Listen, laughter is the best medicine. Oh, okay. It starts out to be the best medicine. I can add on a couple things too, but everyone can deal with laughter. You don't know what no one is going through when they walk into any venue to see comedy. And sometimes you're the one that makes a difference, but then sometimes you're the one that kind of like hits that nerve. How do you handle hecklers? How do you handle somebody that just want to
interrupt your show?
Yeah.
Well, I take classes. I took one yesterday. It was 1 hour. It was $20. And the guy talked about hecklers. It was really useful. He gave us some tips. And my other coach, I have another coach, Vanessa Hollingshead, she gave us tips. She tells you what not to do. You don't want to get you don't want to get a drunk male. You don't want to berate him and make people think he's, like a sissy or something, because that'll piss him off. Things like that.
Well, I'm not bragging.
Yeah, part of it is don't let them know that they're really getting to you, and don't belittle the person, because then it puts them on the defensive, and then you're even in for more crap.
Well, you know what? I learned that the hard way, I guess.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, back in the day, young guys are going to heckle you, and I don't really talk about the penis, the dick. I can say that if I want to, but this person was very offended on some level that he started to heckle and challenge me, and the heckle and challenge ended up with him standing up being butt naked to show the audience his penis and prove that he had something, and they laughed. But it's okay.
I think it got into women occasionally use vibrators for whatever reason. It was a joke.
It's okay because that very person is a fan.
Whatever.
And to this day follows and all. But I don't know. You don't know if someone comes through the door and their mood and what they're going
that
through.
one I never heard of, but I'll bring that to the next show I do. Those people.
Right.
I met a lady who had a penis thrown at her.
Yeah, penis thrown at me. I wish she would. Why? I ought to. Why?
He was naked as a jaybird up there. That was funny.
Yeah, it was. It was amazing. And it was a totally packed house. The house, was it the day that I gave dildos away?
Yeah, that was what the joke was about.
See, I used to sell sex toys before I got into comedy. And once I
worked in a company like that too, but I worked in the office.
Well, I didn't want to work for a company and then they get half of the money. I did it myself. And quite a lot of money. But when we decided to sell the house, we bought an RV and we traveled doing stand-up comedy. My last show there in that city here in Ohio, I gave away all my sex toys. So we sold the place out. Everybody come up and get a sex toy. This guy had a sex issue. That's how he ended up.
Yeah, he had some insecurities.
Naked and everything. But on with that. Enough of the guy that got naked. Tell me about the special that's on Peacock Television called Good Timing.
Okay. Well, it's so coincidental. I called a friend of mine and said, I'm in a comedy class that I told you about, Joke Zoom. Would you like to go? And she said, no, I'm in my own. It's Monday, but it's on Zoom. It's a senior center, but it's on Zoom because of the COVID. Well, the lady who puts it on, Jo Firestone, J-O, she was a writer for Jimmy Fallon. She's a 35-year-old success story. She's already made it. And she walked into the senior center and said, I'd like to teach comedy. I have nothing to do. And then the COVID came right after that. So she decided to film us on Zoom, but then in person. And we took COVID tests and we went there. And she said, we're going to put on a comedy show. Well, these people were like 10 years older than me. And I feel 16. See, I have a Beetle room behind me. I act like a 16-year-old. But these people were in their 80s. And they were in the senior center. Like, how people go to play bingo or they eat lunch there. Mm-hmm. She ended up teaching a comedy class. And we ended up making a movie. And it was so good that it went to the Critics' Choice Award.
Absolutely.
And she had each of us come with her for an interview, and she put me on MSNBC, and people from high school saw me. And I didn't even know what I was going to, but when I typed in that password, instead of it being QXYZ, it was MSNBC. I said, whoa.
Right
and
on.
Next thing you know,
and you know what? For anybody that want to see this is available on your website. So, it is. It really is a great thing. It's an honor when anyone recognizes you. And my thing is, if you can make a difference with just one person, you pretty much done your job, and you've really exceeded that with your humor. You're very kind and passionate. I've never seen, because I do my homework, I've never found anything where anyone has ever said anything bad about you. They always are there, and you are very supportive. And that, it means a lot. You're very supportive of other comedians, of other people in the industry. You have no shame in promoting them and putting them out there. And that says a lot about you, because there are so many people. There could be people right now in your face, and they don't want to see you succeed. You get those haters. They don't. They're just so fake and phony. So, you know, what you're doing, keep on doing it. And I'm just honored to have you on the show. And I wanted everyone to go and follow you. We'll talk about the shows if you're in the New York area where you can go and get that. But, you know, back in the day is back in the day. We didn't have social media like we have now. Social media is the thing. If you want to get out there, there's overnight sensations. But when it comes to social media for you, Helaine, what kind of things or strategies do you use to develop and promote yourself?
Okay, so my goal isn't to be famous or rich. You know, thank God I don't need that. But what my goal is, not to have to always bring people to shows. Not that I don't have enough friends, but it is, sometimes I pay for everybody. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would like it to be that I get invited to shows that I'm a cut above. Like, we want Helaine on our show. That's really my goal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, what do? I have a theory. Tell me what you think of this without a marketing degree or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go to the supermarket, it has the store brand cream cheese, and then it has Kraft or Philadelphia. If Philadelphia and Kraft cost the same as the store brand, I'm going to buy the brand name. I want people to see me on social media, mostly Facebook, because I'm a dinosaur with some of them. So if I could be there enough where people will say, oh, I want to go see Helaine. I knew her in high school. I know her from our volunteer work. If somebody could want to go see me without me saying, would you like to go to a show? If it's too much, I'll pay, which I don't mind. Don't get me wrong, Silvy. I mean, I want to be invited.
Right.
I want to be appreciated, which I am, but to be invited to shows rather than have to bring 5, because you could bring 5, but it's tense until the 5 show up.
Right.
Bringer
that's
shows.
Yeah, the bringers.
I want to avoid. That's my goal.
Yeah, the
you
bringers.
asked me about social media. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I understand and got that.
We
very
avoid
much.
that stuff.
Yeah, the bringers, or you definitely better bring some money, because it's a 2-drink or 2-item thing.
Minimum.
And I the first experience I had with that was down in Texas. We went to a club and it was a 2-item, and I'm like, I don't want a drink. I don't want to buy a drink. So we had to pay $4 for a bottle of water each.
Yeah, I pay $5 for the water and I take it home.
Yeah,
when I have to do it. I
yeah.
take it home. I use it for gym. But
Right.
at least, you know what? Some places only have a glass of seltzer and they don't have a bottle of water.
Right. That is correct. So how do you prepare when you're getting on stage? Whether you're hosting or whether you're performing, everybody has, or most have their little rituals. Some have to go get totally stoned out, drunk before they get on stage, which I've learned is not the way to do it. But what do you do?
Well, one thing my coach will swear by is I don't practice enough. My coach is a headliner, and she'll go on a ship and she'll have to have 3 or 5 different sets. She'll study 2 hours for each set, and she knows I don't study enough. And I don't know if that's fear of the show or laziness, or I could do it anyway, or I could wing it, but I got to cut that out. So to prepare, I will do the set in the car on the way there, or I'll watch old videos and hear how I do and maybe get some ideas from old videos, but I'm very bad at preparing. As far as psyching myself up, I like listening to other videos. I like to watch other comics, or I like to, when I do practice, repeat my set, because you have to, because I see the difference. I see me fumbling on old jokes because I'm not prepared.
Well, hey, we've all got up there and bombed a thing or two. I mean, the lesson that I've learned is, that social drinking, I can't do that. And get on stage and buzz. They were looking at me, and I was looking at them, look at me, and I'm like, well, what are you looking at? You know, I'm like, it was crazy, but I won't do that. But what do you miss most nowadays from past comedy scenes?
Oh, good question. Well, when I was in San Francisco, I did open mic, and I do open mic now. What do I miss? I think I miss, good question. I miss some of the old stars I used to see in San Francisco. I was lucky to see some of the greats, but I see some greats now. But sometimes you'll see a show with, okay, I'll tell you what I miss. I'll get thrown on a show with just people who are brand new, but they could bring 5 people from their home in Connecticut, brand new. Now, I don't mind a few brand new people, but if you have a friend who paid $25 plus 2 drinks to see a show that you're in, you want them to see a good show. That I miss.
I understand that. You know what I don't like now? Have you ever experienced this? You know how some of the comedy clubs will have competitions, and it's the audience vote who has to decide the winner. And then the younger guys bring in all their little college buddies and all, and then they're clapping, drunk, laughing, and really the guy sucks. But then he ends up getting moved up because of that. I don't like those type of competitions.
Yes, absolutely. We see that often. And you know what? I get so worked up with the competition. Even I went to one recently where I just watched. I watch and I help seat people. I was, even now thinking of it, my stomach gets upset. I that whole environment of competition, not to say I never do it, but I don't feel like that I could win. But just the idea, I saw 57 women go to a festival, and they were all, in essence, against each other in terms of winning. Now, on the other hand, if they went to New York and they did this without having a reason to be motivated to win, would they even go? What would happen? We'd just see 57 comics. So in a way, I could see why it was a contest. And the other way, it gets my stomach churning to go to contests. I get very involved. Why didn't they win? They should have won. That was rigged.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? And there is a comedy club chain in the Texas area that will have the best of Texas, the funniest comedy. And it really is a bringer show. And it's, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes,
I mean, sometimes you see a really solid comic up there, and it's like, how did he not win? And this guy, come on.
You know, I look at it like it should motivate that person to go other places and do better. You don't need that or anyone to judge and tell me what I'm all about, you know. So that's how I do and look at that and what a person should do. But it is what it is. Everybody's out there, a squirrel trying to make a nut, right? They're all trying to make some money some way and do what it is they do. So, I mean, whatever, right? But listen.
I also saw the opposite, if I may tell you. At this competition, the girl who won has won 2 other big female competitions in New York that I said to myself, must she have entered this? Must they have picked her? And then I said, if she's the best, who are you to say? Let her enter what she wants. If that were you, and you won Boston, you won Flappers, you won New York, you won Texas, who am I to say she shouldn't try New Jersey?
Sometimes they like their credentials. Attitude. Yeah. This is all part of my credentials. Here I am, and now put me on this particular show. And they, it depends on your attitude.
Yeah, and because
I thought maybe they should have picked someone else, but no, they picked who they thought was good, and if she won 2 others, she's good.
That's obviously, right. That's right. That's right. There's so many ways and types of comedy out there. You know, don't hate because a person's style is this way or because they talk this way. There's someone for everyone out there in the industry. And we women, it is what it is, and we have it a little bit tougher, but that makes us even more tougher and determined. And you're an example of that because you've been in the industry doing it, still doing it, telling people, get out my way. Oh my God, I got my own agenda that I'm doing. So now you've met the young kids in the industry. Has any of them ever approached you for any advice? Like what can I do? What should I do?
They're more, a lot of them are just thinking they're the greatest.
Arrogant, a little arrogant.
But I've seen some of them, and I've said that you're a cut above the rest.
Good. So Good Timing is on Peacock Television, and you've done jokes, gotten paid. Who cares what it was, because it's an honor for Joan Rivers to pick something from you. But my question that I want to know, maybe your purpose now is just you getting on stage, but I can see your skill of one-liners, your talent. Why not go after today's talk show, late nights, and get your jokes
Why
sold
not get
to
on
them?
Stephen Colbert or one of those?
I mean, yeah, why not do that? Did you ever think after Joan, we're going to do more?
That's funny because I told you about Joe Firestone. She was a writer on those shows. She's been on them. And then one of the fellas in Good Timing, he said, he's my age, and he said, I'll never get on late night. Well, Joe brought that video to
Late night.
what's his name, Jimmy Fallon, and he showed the video of my friend Ziggy saying, I'll never get on the Tonight Show. You know, I'm just doing it for fun. And then it was on the Tonight Show.
That's right. Never say never, baby. That's what I say.
And that morning I said, you could go in the audience standby, you know. And he said, yeah, I could. I'm retired. But he didn't go. And then they would have said, there he is in the audience.
That's what's up. What about a documentary? You have a lot to share, a lot stories that you can tell, including, by the way, let me just give a shout out to my boys behind you all over the wall, because I know you're Beatles fanatic. And look, we love the Beatles. Beatles is so versatile with their music. But you was really a Beatles fan. I mean, like sneaking out.
Is he a Beetlehead?
Yeah, Beetlehead.
Yeah, I have pictures of me walking with Paul.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I have to turn.
Uh-oh.
I'll take it off the wall. Here's me and Paul, me and my friend Jude walking down the street.
Wow.
And this is John and I. Yeah, I went to England and I stood outside Abbey Road.
That is fantastic. You're the number one fan, girl. What? I love it.
Yeah, we go to
see
him still, you know. A few of us go to see Paul and Ringo still.
That's awesome.
Still friends with them, these girls 50 years later.
Wow.
55 years later, we're still friends.
Look at you, Miss Superstar. That's what you are, a superstar. You know, before I go out, I'm going to show a comedy set that you did in New York. I'm not sure where is that at with the red?
Can I sell the Joan Rivers thing?
Oh, yes, please do.
Okay, sorry. This is a funny letter. See the pink stationery? That's how you used to get, if she bought you a joke, you'd get it on pink stationery. It's not like today when there's pink stationery. This was in the back in the day. You didn't have pink stationery, so it was special when you got it. And what it is a letter from Sabrina. If you watch Joan's reality show, Sabrina's like her assistant. And the point is, it says, we relocated and we found your jokes. We regret to say we found your jokes in some boxes behind a cabinet. So sorry about that.
That is so great. It's a special room you have behind you with so much stories and so much memories on there. That is really great. Really great.
A lot of people, like you said, hate on people who have success, but you're generous.
Well, you're generous too, because you honored me being on the show, and I appreciate that. But we're going to do a comedy set. We're going to go out with that. But before we do, I know you have some gigs lined up this week.
Oh, thank you.
Where can someone catch you on stage in New York?
That's very sweet. So tomorrow, Wednesday night at 7:30, there's this lady, Janice Massetti, at Broadway Comedy Club. She's one of these wacky, singing, dancing, crazy, wild. She'll say things to people that would ordinarily be offensive, like, no, you didn't just say that to my school principal, you know, like that. Things like that, like, no, you didn't just say that was my boss in 1978.
Right.
So that's tomorrow at Broadway, and that's at 318 West 53rd Street, or between 8th and 9th at 7:30. And then Thursday night, I have Gladys Simon's Pro Show at the Comic Strip Live, and that has pros in it mixed with some of the people who bring their friends, and I'm a Gladys Simon person. That means I go to Gladys's room a lot. And that's at 2nd Avenue between 81st and 82nd, Thursday. And then Saturday afternoon, for those who say it's a school night, it's a work night,
right?
You can't give me that excuse. It's Saturday at 5 p.m. Don't say you have to go to the ballet. 5 p.m. Saturday at New York Comedy Club at 24th and 2nd.
Wow, you're a busy girl, and that's how you do it, baby. That's how you do it.
I say you'll bring people.
So how late have you been at these clubs? I know that they can do 1 show, 2 show, 3 shows. What's the latest you left the club?
Well, in San Francisco, I remember their open mic used to be after the pros. So at 2 a.m., after Paula Poundstone in 1978, you'd first go on, then you had a job in the morning. Now the open mic is early, so I do a 10 o'clock show at Broadway and I get home like 1. And I do an 11 o'clock in Queens, get home late. But I have to say I'm lucky my shows are early in New York compared to San Francisco when you get on at 2 a.m. after Paula Poundstone.
Right. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking the time being on the show. Tell everyone where they can go to follow you and contact you for any booking.
Whoops. Sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't put it on Do Not Disturb. Basically, Facebook. I'm not as good at TikTok yet or anything else. Just Facebook, Helaine Witt. That's it. My name.
So you want to lead up to this comedy clip? Is the one with the red curtains. Where is that done at?
The one at MSNBC. Oh, the one with the red curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. This is that show I told you about upstairs at Broadway with the lady. She's I think you have I'm not sure which one because those are good videos. That's all I'll say. It's a fun crowd and I felt comfortable and they were supportive. How's that?
That's great. It's a great video. I'm honored to show it here. And I want to thank you so much, Helaine Witt, for being on the show. We look forward to more things. Anything you would like for me to share, just message me it and I'll gladly share it out to the world.
Sweet. Well, I do want to say my brother was a professor at SAC in San Antonio in the TV and radio department. So I feel like he's with us because you've mentioned Texas quite a bit.
Yeah. We were down there 7 years. Yeah. 7 years down in Texas. Now we're a couple years here. Who knows where we're going to go next, but we just
nomads. We're nomads.
Yeah. So
thank you both. And I did mention, I'll say this, you mentioned jazz. I saw the Jazz Stars and my other brother has a jazz label with just jazz musicians. He's a jazz fanatic and he has some of the greats like he has Avi Coltrane and his sister and some other jazz greats on his label, Clark Terry's goddaughter. So you make me closer to my family between those two connections.
Well, I'm honored and thankful. I see greatness is all in your bloodline. Look at you. Okay.
Thank you.
So, hey, thank you. I want you to make the most of your day. Enjoy your day as I present to you you have it? No? The one and only Helaine Witt. Helaine, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is a queen indeed. A queen indeed. Soaring continuously. Hey, if you're in the New York area, go check her out. If you're sitting on your couch, get the remote and go to Peacock TV and check it out, baby. I'm not kidding you. You want some laughter? Everyone needs laughter in their life, and we are here to bring that and more as we aim to bring the best in live entertainment, talents, and topics from around the world just for you. You have that ready? Well, let's check out this comedic performance from the one and only Helaine Witt right here on the Queen Silvy Show.
Is that the love child of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Barry Manilow? Why don't you come up and do 5 minutes, I'll do 3. So, I wrote some jokes for Joan Rivers. I'm very proud of it, and I signed a 6-page contract that said I could never say those jokes again because she now owned them. And then, sadly, she passed away, and I said, hey, she's dead, I can say my jokes now. And my friend reminded me, her lawyer's not dead. So now that I bumped out because she did though, I didn't know all that. But I could never be the love child of those two people because I'm almost Barry Manilow's age. I'm a retired New York City school teacher. And I just turned 70 years old. This is my birthday party. Yeah, and I remember a year ago I was blowing out my candles and I'm wishing for 69. But I'm the clean portion of the show tonight, being a school teacher and all. But I taught in South Jamaica, Queens in a really tough school. I mean, you walk in the school building and you see the school colors, black and blue, and dried blood red. And that's on the teachers. Like, they used to say, everything, whatever happens in your classroom, make it into a lesson. And the mayor used to say, make everything a teachable moment. Yeah, so I'm breaking up a fight, I'm 5 feet tall, and this kid goes, he choked me down. I said, stop. You're using your adverbs incorrectly. He didn't choke you terrible, he choked you terribly. Yeah, and when we were young, we used to carve our sweetheart's name in the desk. These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. Really tough. Yeah, and we used to use these books. I don't know if any of you remember the readers. We used to use the Dick and Jane readers, Run, Spot, Run. Anybody remember those readers? Run, Spot, Run. Well, I had to make the books relatable to these children. So it was more like Run, Spot, Run, Dick's got a gun. Spot is a pit bull, run, teacher, run. And those were the 12th graders. But I'm glad I'm retired because nowadays I'd have to change the books again to Run, Spot, Run, Dick's got a gun, Jane has a dick, Run, Spot, Run. More relevant. It's getting relevant a little bit. Yeah, I love getting older though. I love it. You mentioned about the older husband and all. I like older men too, but they're really old. I'm 70, But I love getting older. Like everything to me is positive. Like I look in the mirror and I see I have pound signs here, and then I have exclamation points here. I have parentheses here. I'll just lay down. You can send a text message on me. And I remember when when we had the hurricane just a few years ago, and I said, wow, if they had these bags in the Rockaways during Hurricane Sandy, the F train never would have stopped running. And you young ladies, the cramps and the PMS, you can't wait for what? The change, right? So then the change comes along, not that glamorous. You got the mood swings, the hot flashes. I say menstruation, menopause, those were the good old days. Yeah, but I love getting older. Something you have to look forward to. What's your name? Debbie? Something you have to look forward to is called the varicose veins, Debbie. It's like having a rainbow on your leg. It's fabulous, Debbie. I call mine the Google Roadmap to Adventure. And this road takes you to the Sterling Forest, Debbie. I'll break that down. You probably do the Brazilian and all that. It's like the Sterling Forest, I'm making you blush, sorry. And if the blind date that you're on doesn't go well, Debbie, this road takes you to the Dead Sea. Yeah, I just love getting old. My friend says, Helaine, these over here, these wrinkles, they're called marionettes. Oh, wonderful, I got the Lion King and Avenue Q on my freaking face. That's fabulous. And when you get older, Debbie, you lose your hair. Like, I'm losing my hair, Debbie. But you know what? I have a positive attitude about it. Thank you. I'm so old that I forgot the punchline to that joke. Kathy with the big boobs, what's the punchline to that? Kathy, she comes to every show. Yeah, I'm losing my hair, but Debbie, I know where it's going. It's going to my knuckles. And that's great, because then if I fall, I have some protection. I mean, you never have to shave your arms arms and legs when you get older. It's fabulous. But I got a little macrame bracelet growing on my face. Yeah, getting older. And I've been married twice. First time I was married to a Jewish guy. And the second time I was married to a Chinese guy. So I remember Kathy once asked me, what's the difference? Well, there's no difference. They're both cheap and drive terribly. Politically incorrect, I know. After Steve Marshall, nothing shocks you. Yeah, but it was good married to the Chinese guy because we had 3 New Years. Yeah, first you have your American New Year and you have fireworks. Then you have a Chinese New Year, you have fireworks. But for the Jewish New Year, we just had it and there were no fireworks. Unless you eat my Aunt Esther's gefilte fish with a lot of horseradish. Then there are fireworks. Yeah, any questions so far? Oh, I thought I was teaching again. Yeah, some famous people went to my school where I taught. Like Carol Jenkins from Fox 5 News, she's a graduate of PS 140 where I taught in Queens. And 2 NFL stars. And the ATM bandit went to my school, but he didn't graduate. But he was used to steal. You know, someone said, I should put this in my act, talk about the ATM bandit, true story. My school was so tough that the safe was stolen out of my school. How do you get the safe out of it? How do you steal a safe? A giant safe. I think maybe it was an inside job with the security guard. That's not even a joke. But crazy things used to happen. Like my friend, the psychologist on the second floor, she said, Helaine, last night I think the custodian had sex with the lady, the cook, in the kitchen on my desk. Well, 20 years later, my custodian is his son, and he's sweeping in my room. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Desmond was conceived right here. And that's another true story that I'm starting to put into my act. I hope Desmond's not here. You know, sometimes they come to my show. Oh, Stephen Jefferson melted crayons on the radiator. Guess what he grew up to be? A crack cocaine methamphetamine dealer. Yeah. This kid says, teacher, I have show and tell and the word of the day. Glock, G-L-O-C-K. Well, he spelled it right, so I didn't call the police. Well, you know what? Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you.
Yes, totally good. I was loving that.
Funny.
That was really funny, Helaine. Are you there?
Thank you.
That really is good. You look like you love being on stage. You have great stage presence, and that's part of it all too, you know. You got that stage presence, you keep their attention. You might not think they were looking at your butt, but they were. You know, you still got it going on for a mature queen. Give it to them. But hey, thank you very much for being on the show. I look forward to hearing from you as well as having you back again.
Thank you. And I have some friends who want to be on your show.
Hit me up. That's all you have to do.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Love you. Bye.
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 HelaineWitt.com. Go and follow her on Facebook as well if you're in the New York City area. Hey, she is everywhere doing her thing, and I love that. I love that indeed. On this terrific Tuesday, guess what? Sylvia met the fun word guessing game is coming up in a minute with another contestant going for all that cash. Last week we had a contestant on, and this week is going to try and beat hers. We'll tell you about that in a minute, but first I would love to give some shout outs to my good queens and kings all around the world, like you, Kinsley Patino, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley, Follette Clark, and Kenneth Rouse. Shout out to you. To Helen Myers, Peace Myers, Corey, and Casey Patino. Shout out to you. Joan Mercer, Queen Aaliyah, Asia, Tay, Maya Camille, and Dejour Walker. Shout out to you, as well as my grandsons, my poopapoos, you know, my princes, Amari, Jonathan Jr., and Tyron. Shout out to you. To Queen Sonia, Kaki, Shanika, Brianna, Alana, and Precious. Shout out to you, as well as Kelly and Ryan and the All-American boys, Matt and Tracy and the All-American girls. Shout out to you. To Patricia Wilhelm McGiffin. Shout out to you, as well as Pamela Anderson, C. Shorty Franklin, Renita Easley, Gold Rosa, and Donna Ferry. Shout out to you, my good queens. All the way in Africa, Amy Kanima, Websterito Hostile Flow, Princess Aria Lua, and Hero Boy. Shout out to you. In the United Kingdom, my good queens, Beth Lambert, Nicola Jones, Kay Cross, and Bethany Jones. Shout out to you. From the Netherlands, Edith Verhoek. Shout out to you, my good friend. She is a great comedian doing some great things. Look her up and get some more laughter, if you will. We can always use laughter. To Miguel Montalban, Serious Edition, James and Audrey. Shout out to you. Queen D. Brown, Sandra, and Ben Johnson, Melody Gore Dobb. Shout out to you. Brian Pearson, Angela Baker. Shout out to you, as well as Brenda Ramirez, Damu Gotti, and Kim and Roger Russell. So, hey. If you would love to be shouted out, if you have someone that you want us to represent and shout out, we most definitely will do that 3 days a week, every Tuesday, with the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show, every Wednesday with Tim's Tidbits, special co-host Larry E. out of Dallas, Texas, and every Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. Simply email at thequeensylvyshow.com. Go to the website, thequeensylvyshow.com, queensylviacomic.com. We are everywhere. In fact, wherever you're viewing or listening to this, you can leave it in the comment section. Smooth, my good man, will make sure we get this taken care of.
Indeed.
We do have a guest that is ready to try and whip it.
We do have a guest. He seems to be sideways. I'm wondering how he keeps his balance.
Yeah, how does he stand sideways? I'm like, how did he do that
without falling over?
He got them suction Nike shoes.
He must have those good Nikes.
Them suction Nike shoes.
That must be what it is.
You can walk up the wall, slam dunk in them.
Keeping it 100 on that.
That's what's up. Hey, let's get it on with Silvy amid the fun word guessing game. We'll tell you in a minute how you can come aboard and play as well, going for all that cash. My contestant, if you can hear me clearly, please state your name and where you are right now.
Hang on, let me get him up there. And go ahead, contestant.
State your name for me and where you are calling from. I can't hear.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear your
volume.
volume.
Are you on mute?
Hello?
There we are. There you are. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, contestant, state your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Dejon Walker, and I'm coming from Toledo, Ohio.
All right. Well, you know, the game Silvy amid the fun word game. Smooth Tim is going to call out a letter. Smooth, can you get the timer on here?
Yes, ma'am. I can do that for you.
So Smooth Tim is going to call out a letter. You will have 60 seconds to name as many words beginning with that letter. Last week's contestant, Serene Allen out of Texas, gave 12 words with the letter M. And you will get a different letter right now.
Let me get mine.
You got yours?
I'll get mine.
Okay. Wait to get this timer on because we be on the dot. On the dot. You got it? All right. Smooth, what is the letter? Wait till I say on your mark, get set, go. Smooth, what is the letter?
Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
The letter of the day is D.
The letter is D, as in
dungeon.
As in dungeon. On your mark, get set, go.
Drowning, dancer, dancing, downer, drinker, drinking, driver, driving, dance, or you said dance, I think. Defeating, diploma. I think it's more. Dandelion. I think it's a word. Oh, trying to think of some more. I'm sorry, y'all. Dawning. Dying.
All right, let's see. I have 5, 10, 15. I have 22.
I've had 21 or 22 also.
Whoa.
Not bad.
What do you mean?
Hey, you are setting the record right now. What? 22, I am so sorry. Serene Allen with 12 words. Letter M. De Jour has 22 words with the letter D. Hey, let's see what next week's contestant can do. You're definitely setting the bar, going for all that cash. At the end of the month, whomever has the most words gets all that cash. That's right. That's what's up. Hey, tell everyone how you can be followed on social media.
You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, also TikTok. I've just recently started doing TikTok at Deedaeblem, DeeDaeblem.
That's what's
so
up.
You can find me on there.
That's what's up. Hey, De Jour, thank you for taking the time on this terrific Tuesday, being on the Queen Silvy Show. Look forward to next week's contestant, who definitely is going to come hungry, because they want that cash too. But I thank you for taking the time today. We most definitely will be in touch with you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Stay
All
blessed.
Right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
That's what's up. Woo! 22 words is not bad at all. Of course, we've had people who done more, less. It depends on how you come with the game. But hey, money. Stick it to him. Money.
That too, baby.
Yeah, I like money too. But we always love paying it forward. And Sylvia Mid, the fun word guessing game, is one way that we definitely pay it forward. I think my guest today, I am so in love with her and her humor, her comedy, her personality. She's a great person. Helaine Witt, comedian extraordinaire. Helaine Witt, and follow her on Facebook, Instagram, or go to HelaineWitt.com. So, on this terrific Tuesday, you know Queen Silvy is fasting, and you know what's next? Food. I'm ready to get my eat on. But before we do, Smooth, how can we be followed?
We can simply be followed by Googling us, Queen. We are available all over the place. So once you Google us, just pick your favorite site. Yeah, so The Queen Silvy Show, Queen Silvy, or Smooth Tim. You'll find us easy, the www.thequeensilvyshow.com.
That's right. We are not hard to be found. We are always here for you, always bringing the best in live entertainment, talents, topics, as well as resources. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You know what that means. Tim's Tidbits, special co-host Larry E. out of Dallas, Texas. That is in the evenings, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Do check your time zones and tune in to Thursday for the Now You Know show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. We have another new segment joining the platform. Last week we had a segment, Empowering Moments with Mishi, and tomorrow we have another new segment called Studio Cats with a Z, because it's like that. So tune in for that. I'm so excited about that. Love bringing super greatness to everyone. But with that said,
till next week, same Queen time, same Queen station.
That's right.
Voila.
Bye.